So welcome back. In today's video, we are going to look at a nice concept. We are going to look at custom made exceptions. So this is what I'm meaning. You can see this exception here. It is from Java, and when you go inside, it is a class. So what if I make my custom made exception? In this case, let me say like my calling exception. So something like this. Today we're going to look at something like this, and we're going to look at much more concepts and nice ones. So before we go to the custom made exceptions, there is two concepts I want to look at. There is what we call the try catch. When you're having like multiple try catches. Let me give you an instance. You're having two databases. You're having the primary database and the secondary database, and in your connection something wrong happens, and you don't want to show this error, because if something wrong happens in this first try, the user will be shown something went wrong, which you don't want. What you can do is that you can try to connect to your secondary database. In this case, you can try to recache, or you can try to repeat the process. So in this case, we introduce something interesting called you can try to catch another, you can say catch. In this case we are going to catch an arithmetic exception, which is an error. So we can do something like this. I have given you an instance. Oh, this one is still exception, our spelling exception. So you can do something like this. I have given you an instance whereby you're having two databases and one fails. You can try to reconnect to the second one. In this case, let me take an instance. This first logic that we did here has failed, because this is going to return an exception, and automatically this is the one going to run. But what if I don't want this to run and I'm having a backup? So what I can do is that instead of dividing in result is equal to j, instead of dividing by 0, I can say divide by 1 in this case. So I can say system.out print this is the second try, meaning this can be the default one. Yeah, this can be the default one. If this try catch fails, we can make the default exception in this case, or we can try to catch another instance. So in this case, this is the default one, and I can say print out R in this case. So something like this. So let us try to compile. Automatically, after compiling this first try, it will print out an error. So it will jump to the second one, which is our arithmetic exception. And keep note, if you try to catch the same exception here, Java will tell you no, that's not allowed. Unless you change your exceptions, we can continue. You are seeing it here. So in this case, I named this an arithmetic exception, because we are dealing with operations, or we are dealing with mathematical calculations. So let us try to compile this. Run and compile. You will see that we are able to get the default one here. This is the second try default, which is 10. This one here printed out an error, so it had to jump to the default one. So that's how you can do the second catch. So what I can do is that even if this is, let me say this is like 2, yeah, say this is 2, and you try to compile, the first try is okay, so it automatically it will print out 5. So something like that. So let us look at the second nice concept, which is a throw. So what if I don't want to throw these two errors, or I don't want to catch these two errors? So what I can do that is that I can throw an error. Yeah, you can throw an error, and the error that you're throwing, you can catch it here. What I mean is that you can customize your error, the one that you want, inside the first try, then you are able to catch it in the try catches that you're having down here. So what you can do is that you can customize it here. You can say if, you can take this back to 0. If, let me say, if j, Oh, if r, this one here, the result, if r is equal to 0. So what can be done here? If r is equal to 0, sorry, if r is equal to 0, or if r prints out 0, you can say throw new. You can throw a new catch, then in this case open. Throw, what are you throwing? You are throwing an exception. You are throwing an exception, in this case exception, which is having a message. Uh, uh, the result can't be 0, something like this. You can do something like this. So inside your first try, you can try to throw another error. When you throw another error using the throw new keyword, you can be able to receive it in your try catches. But remember here I have used the exception keyword, meaning we shall, or Java will go and look where you're having your exception try catch, and it will this is the catch that will handle it. So let us try to compile, and we see. Compile and run. I have changed this back to 0. So what I can do is that we are dividing. I want this to print out, let me see, something like this. So you can do, what you can do is that here in this case, you want to make sure that you are throwing this error. So instead of printing out R, and try to print out I, which is 0 in this case. So I want to show this error message. So let us compile and run. Compile and run. You will see that this one is the one still going to run, simply because after throwing this error, we have to catch it. So in this case, what I can do is that here in this case, I can say there is a get message dot error, something like this, get message dot error, which is a method, something like this. Oh, but you're having issues. What we can do is that this is not get message dot error. This is, you first get the error, then on the error you get the message from this error. So that's something like this. So when you compile and run, you will see that this is the second try. Default can't be. Oh, we are still getting. Oh, sorry, something isn't right in this case. Oh, the result can't be 0. This one is the one still running. What we can do is that before this, let me put this up here, because this one is not letting this one to run automatically. After this one failing, it is jumping down. So what I can do is that clear that, file and run. Shall be able to get the result cannot be 0, which is in this case the new error that we are throwing. So that's how you can throw your own error, and you can able to catch it using the error.get method, and you are able to see the error that you have thrown, and this is the try catch, able to catch it. So let us try another nice concept. This is the one which uh, all of us were waiting. So let us try to customize this exception here in this case. So what if I want to, instead of this being exception, I say my calling exception, something like this. So I can try, if you come here inside this exception here, in this case, you see that this is a normal class. So I can also create my class. So in this case, I'll come here up, the class, create exception, in this case. So I'll create a constructor. So public, then constructor, open, something like this. So in this constructor, we are still getting some issues. The constructor is not defined. No constructor of type can be thrown. An exception type must be a subclass of throwable. So in this case, what I can do is that I'm trying to throw a message which is in a string format. So I can say string, something like this. So I want to catch this string in this case. So when you come here inside, I want to show you something. When you come here inside, it is using a super class. So in this case, I already explained what the super keyword means. You can go check out that video using this super, meaning in this case, what I can do is that, actually before that, let us try to see exception type thrown. And okay, I'm seeing the issue. This is not, remember, this is not a normal class. This is not a normal class, this is an exception. So it has to extend, it extends an exception, something like this. So automatically after doing that, everything, this one stops to shout. This my class is extending an exception, meaning my class now can inherit attributes of an exception. So what I can do is that I can now come, I was showing you briefly what this exception is having. It is having this super uh, method. So what I can do is that, how the super works, it can neglect the super, it can neglect this the parent class, and you can be able to print out the anything in your subclass. So my calling exception class is extending attributes of the exception. So through using this exception keyword, I'm able to pass my message, which is string, something like this. So I can do, what I can do is that I can make this a message to make this clearer. So this, we are passing in the super keyword, we are passing. So this has to be terminated. In the super keyword, we are passing our message, something like this. So the super keyword only helps us to override things in the parent class, so that we can able to focus on the things in the subclasses. So when I try to compile this and run, let us see, the result can't be 0, and this is the one throwing, and my exception, my calling exception, is the one able to print out this, meaning I have customally made my exception in this case. So that's how you can make your exception and much more nice things. So that's it for today. Thank you.